All right, now the mindset today is to get the fuck after it. How about that? We got an exciting ride coming up, but not necessarily for specific bike purposes. We have a new unlock on the content capture. So the GoPro right now is on the tripod, but I got this little GoPro attachment that is a freaking mouthpiece. One of the challenges on capturing footage with the GoPro on the bike is, number one, I want to make sure I'm not going to crash. And I see a lot of cool bike videos that use the chest mount, but they're always on a roadie. And when you're hunched over on the TT bike, I've never been able to make the chest mount work. So I've been trying to hold the camera, trying to not die, all that jazz. And I have stumbled across what I think is actually designed for surfing. And instead, what we're about to do is ride over to the fastest spot close to my house, freaking pop this thing in, and then bomb down this hill. So we will see what this is about. The ride today has some form sprints. So we'll be doing a little bit of flat, fast speed work, working on form, a little bit of neuromuscular training, a little bit of having fun going fast. But what I'm thinking about mostly is I have a lot of fun taking pictures and documenting my training and bringing to life some creative things through all this damn physical work I'm doing. And this is a really fun little upgrade. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. We shall see, but that is what we are getting into today. If you are somebody who's doing a lot of endurance, I would really encourage you to document the journey. One of the biggest mental unlocks for me, making this endurance lifestyle stick, is always taking pictures, smiling and flexing, selfie style, after like almost every training session. And you don't need to necessarily be somebody who is a content creator to get the value that I got out of establishing that habit. I'll tell you the real value is that no matter how the training session went, all of a sudden I'm sitting there at the end, flexing, smiling, feeling confident, feeling proud. And what have I been talking about in some of these videos? Chasing the payoff, right? Not really thinking about the pain. Right now, it's kind of like a little bit of a gray fall day. I see a little bit of blue skies out there, but it's been a little bit chilly, and there's a part of me that's like, ah, man, would love it to be a lot warmer. But instead of thinking about that pain ahead out in the cold, I'm thinking about the payoff. The payoff of going fast, the payoff of trying out this new thing, the payoff of having fun, pumping my body, getting my blood pumping, and seeing how this thing works out. So that's what we got. Let's stop talking about it and let's just go do the damn thing. All right, we have made it to the local speed spot, Rabbit Mountain here in Lyons/Longmont, Colorado. I'm about to do 2 repeats here. We're gonna test out the freaking Snorkel GoPro. My thought is that holding it upside down in my mouth, holding the camera upside down so it's positioned upside down, kind of like this. That would be one angle, and then right side up would be like that. So maybe that made sense, maybe it didn't. Either way, we are about to send this. Should hit at least 42 miles an hour, and if the wind is going a certain way, might hit 45 plus. We shall see. Let's have some fun. 42.8 miles an hour. We will head back up the hill, flip the camera around, and see what's working better. Here we go. All right, so maybe we'll show the climb that gets us up to descending down this sweet, speedy little hill. Now, when you're descending, what you want to be thinking about is having a good harmony between control of the bike, but also letting the bike do its thing. Like, the bike wants to go straight, and so any jerkiness on a descent is the rider gripping it too hard and kind of muscling it, and that's really easy to have happen if you're nervous about going fast. And so I really like, and I've had a lot of success, finding a few spots in my area where I can see the exit of the descent. I can visually keep my eyes like 10 to 15 yards ahead of the bike. So I'm not just staring right at the wheel, and I'm also not looking out way into the distance. Like, I have a little bit of a lead on the bike, and I will stay in aero as long as I'm comfortable, and then I'll shift to grabbing the bars. And when I grab the bars, then I just look to keep my ass as a contact point on the seat, and then I'm basically just getting my body aero. So I'm getting my chest low down to the bars, and kind of the way that I was taught to grip a golf club is like as if you're holding a baby bird. You want to hold it just enough so that you're controlling it and it's not flying away, but you also don't want to crush it and like manhandle it. And so there's some truth or some crossover to how you'd grip the handlebars, that harmony between in control of the bike, for sure not loose on the handlebars, but also not being too macho man. So here we go. I'm breathing a little bit for sure. Coming up on this climb, and we will send it down this thing and then just ride this all the way back to the flats. Here we go. I think that was pretty good. I think that was pretty good. We'll have to check the footage, but let's get back to doing some work here and wrap this motherfucker up. All right, success. At least a very successful attempt. We'll have to check the footage and see how that unfolded. Quality ride overall. 42.8 ended up being the max on the speed. One more thing on the speed work that really is like fun with descending and how to actually get better as a cyclist is really feeling out and like looking to be super freaking precise on when you come out of a descent. How quickly can you basically drop back into aero and get into that really freaking pure gearing where all of a sudden now you're back to pedaling really smooth, and it's not some herky-jerky thing where you're either stuck in a super heavy gear where you're not really turning over well, or you're totally spinning out and having no tension on the chain. And so when I'm doing those types of descents, those are some of the things that I'm thinking about. Even like prepping for the exit with the gearing that I'm in, before I come out of aero, because of course the triggers and the gear shifters are up on top of the bars for me. So that's what we got. Quality ride. One of the fun little things, a perk about Colorado is I'm from Philly, so when I lived in Philly, like if it was a gray day, it would just be gray like all day long, no change. But in Colorado, like it was super gray this morning, and I was like kind of feeling that like fall cold, like and all of a sudden you go outside and it's a beautiful freaking day. So no matter where you live, what you're doing, you can go out thinking it's gonna be a little meh, and it can turn out being freaking beautiful. So that's what we got. Quick transitions today. I got some calls coming up, got some tribal team calls in a little bit here. I gotta get some freaking fuel. This deficit that I'm in, I'm feeling it a little bit today, and I gotta eat something real quick. So with that, we'll wrap the video, and I'll see you on the next one.